All right. Hey, everyone. I am here with Frank Davies. Hey, Frank.
Hi, how you doing?
Great. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Thanks for inviting me on this. I appreciate it very
Yeah,
much.
I'm glad you could come. So, Frank, you are new to real estate, but you're not new to sales. You've been selling for a long time, have been a business owner for a long time, and have built your business through making connections with people. And one of the ways is like you're doing now is circle prospecting, right?
That is correct. Yes. Yes.
I want to
Sales is fun. It can be challenging, but it's absolutely um, it's a challenge that if you're willing to accept it as a salesperson, you will do very, very well.
well talk to me about that because sometimes like being a salesperson has like a negative connotation.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, I used to think it had a negative connotation myself.
Yeah.
I used to hate being called a salesperson. When I was growing up in the business, and I've always done it through the phone. I mean, that's
Yeah.
90% of my business was done through the phone. Hello, my name is, how are you? You cover way more ground than getting in your car, getting on your foot. Not to say that doesn't work, it does. But you can cover a tremendous more territory, a lot more contacts in a daily basis if you sit down and dial the phone and do the hello, my name is. Um, that to me was, first challenging,
Mhm.
always. Okay. Being on the phone is challenging for most people. Okay. Sales in itself, and people don't want to be called salespeople. I used to cringe when people call me, you're a salesperson.
Why?
Used to cringe. Now, because it used to have like when you were called, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. Okay. I was born in the 70s. So I'm a little older, but at the end of the day, I remember salespeople on TV and around were always thought of dirty snake oil salesman. You're
Slimy.
a car salesman. You're
Yes.
this salesman. You're insurance. Like you're some sort of
Your
huckster.
realtor. Ew. Yeah.
Ew. Um, you know, and it's on media, it's on the news, and people make fun of it. People always say it. Reason why I say this, people make fun of it because people can't do it. We make fun of a lot of things, and we project a lot of things as a negative situation when we can't do it. We're not good at it.
That makes
I
sense.
did.
I actually never thought about it, but you're right.
Listen, it's fear. It's
Yeah.
fear. People are afraid to sell. Okay.
Mhm.
So as a salesperson, I used to hate it. I love it now. People ask me, I'm a salesperson. I'm a realtor, but I sell. I sell every day. I sell myself. I sell my brand, my personal brand, which is me, Davies Real Estate Solutions. What I do, I and that's where I came to grips. When I finally came to grips with being a salesperson, I'm okay with
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
My business got better. My attitude got better. My
Mhm.
sales got better.
Mhm.
People could hear it on the phone. I wasn't just calling just to say, oh my God, it's like water down a duck's back. You're not interested. I at least make people smile. At least have people who
Or
want
whatever.
nice things.
Made a good
Or whatever.
connection.
I just let it right off my back, like water down a
Well,
duck's
here's
back.
the thing, like it used to be thought, or like in my head, I thought like if you're a salesperson, then you're only like a salesperson meant somebody, like you said, slimy. They were only thinking about themselves, they weren't thinking about the other person. But when I started selling, I was like, that's not true. Like I care about the other person. And
Right.
if what I'm selling doesn't work for them, it's okay. Like
Right.
not everything works for me either, but maybe they know somebody that it works for, or maybe at a different time in their life, because that's one thing, things are always changing, right? So maybe what I am selling will work for them at some point. And most people are awesome and nice and that's it. And it's okay.
And look, just because the person you call or get off the first, few seconds, what they always say, the first 10 seconds are making, and that's very true, very impressionable. I
Yes.
have made a lot of bad impressions in my first 10 seconds that I've made up in the last, the next 5 minutes, because I keep the somehow I fumble over my words but then I somehow keep them on the phone and I'm like, oh dude, like in my head, I'm like, dude, I just messed up that whole intro and you're still on the phone.
They don't know what you're
Okay.
supposed to say anyway. It
And,
doesn't matter.
and I just keep going. And I've
Yeah.
kept people. So yes, the first 10 seconds is like absolutely impressionable. Yes. Okay. You don't want to call people names or, start off with politics or anything like that. So right? We
Oh,
don't do that.
mm-mm.
Right. Yeah. Hey, you're crazy. We don't do that. Okay. We
Right.
stay as far away from that as possible. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my advice for the day on that. Stay as far away from it as possible.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Just
talk to us about circle prospecting using the phone. What are you saying? Who are you calling? Like, just tell us.
sure. So there's I used to keep it real long-winded. says something, as you guys can probably tell. My pitches were a little long. As my pitches used to be a little long-winded, 2 or 3 pages. You get to know somebody. That's how I was raised in the business. You got to spend time to get to know people. Well, now we're into 2021. People's, attention spans have gone really small.
Yes.
People just want to get to the point. And the great thing about real estate, specifically circle prospecting, is I'm able to get to the point really quickly, because it's really the only reason why I'm calling. I'm not here to do anything, crazy.
Right.
So my pitch is real simple, folks. It is super simple. I have leads that I pay for.
You print them out?
I print them out. I'm old school. I print them out. I can write. Here's why I print them out, because I can write stuff on them.
I need to introduce you to Vulcan. We'll do that at a different
I can write stuff. I can highlight it. I circle the names. I keep them on my desk. I go back, forth. I'm always going back. So yes, I'm a little old school. Like I said, I'm a little old school. I have to learn more of technology as my friend. So however you do it, if it's on the computer, if you're doing it in a drop list, it's on a dialer,
or you'd like list from somewhere,
whatever.
Okay, you're good.
You're dialing. Make sure you know a few things. Who you're calling. Make sure you know the name of the prospect you're calling, because that has happened where, I lost their name.
Yeah.
2, know the address of the place you're calling. That doesn't mean you have to sit there for 5 minutes on Zillow or Googling where they're at every call you're going to make, because that will be tedious and you'll just be wasting a lot of time. Because if it's a dead number, it's a dead number.
Right.
But if it rings and they pick up and you say, hello, my name is, you want to start doing a little bit of research right there on your computer as you're doing it. Set it right there. Okay, there's the address. Pulled up on Google Maps. I know where it's located, so I'm not sounding like an idiot. Okay? Trust me. We've all done these mistakes. I'm telling you my mistakes. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Hi, Mr. Johnson. Hi, I'm looking for Mr. and Mrs. Johnson. Are they in? Whether a male or a female answers the phone and it says Jim Johnson is his name, I go, is Mr. or Mrs. Johnson. You don't know if they're wealthy and they have somebody at their home answering the phone. You don't know if it's the son. You don't know who it is. So is Mr. or Mrs. Johnson. No, they always say, hey, go straight for the name. Hey, Jim, it's Frank. You sound like a salesman.
Yeah.
You sound like their defenses go up like this. Okay.
Right.
Hi, is Mr. or Mrs. Johnson in? Yeah, this is Mr. Johnson. Hi, Mr. Johnson. This is Frank. Frank Davies. I know this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but I'm actually calling about 123 Mockingbird Lane there in Delray Beach. I'm just curious to know if you've ever thought about taking a cash offer or even listing your property.
Nice.
And
done.
Shut up. And then shut up.
Shut the hell up.
Don't keep talking, because keeping talking means we're scared to hear the answer. Just
Right.
shut up. Or do what I do sometimes.
Mute.
I literally put my hand over. No, I put my hand over my. Have you ever thought about selling?
I like it.
I do it to myself, folks. You want to know why? Because I have a tendency. We're scared. It's normal. This is natural. I've been doing this for 20 years and I still get nervous.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Let the nerves and sales drive you. That's what I can always say. So Jen, ask your question. You're gonna ask your question?
Yeah. That's good.
No, I haven't thought about selling the property.
Right.
Or I have, whatever it is.
Whatever
right?
it is, doesn't matter.
Then you go in. If it's a no problem. I gotta believe if you had a right number was offered to you, that you would obviously take advantage of that and just start talking. Be a normal person. There's no script to be a normal person.
Right.
You live in this area, and then if they start asking you, well, hey, what do you know about my house? How do you know about my house? You already have it up. Well, I know you're here in East Delray. You're on ocean side of Delray Beach on the island. I can know, and I have an idea about that area. You don't have to give them exact figures, folks. Just have an idea.
When they're asking about that, they just want to know that you're like a person, right? Like you said. So if you could just be real, you could be like, oh my gosh, I know that neighborhood. I was sold a house back there last year or last month, or whatever the reason that you're calling. Like, I have clients that are looking in that area. Like, yeah, but I like how you said, if you had the right number, like, would you take a look at it? Is that something?
Right. Because if somebody tells you no, I'm not selling my house, or no, I've not thought about it. Okay, great. I got to believe there's a number that you would think about. And do you even know about what's going on in your area? They all know what's going on in
Have
the
you
area.
been watching the market at all?
Yes, it's a yes. You're gonna
Everybody
yes. You're gonna say yes because it's of course I have. My neighbor's house is worth $6 million, and I have a house I built in 1980 that I can now sell for 3. I literally just got off the phone with a guy before I got on this. I looked at his house. The one neighbor's house is $6 million. This guy built the house, Oceanside, right there, small little house, 1984. I said, "How much do you want for your house?" He goes, $3 million. I wouldn't give $3 million to that house for anybody, but I'll list his house. I'll tell him I'll list your house.
Right.
But it's all location. It's the location.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. He's selling $3 million location with a house on it.
But I think what you're looking for and what people need to understand when they're circle prospecting is that you're making a call into a group of people that are not generally thinking of selling, but but blind mice find cheese, right? So when you find that person, they will think it's fate and they will list with you.
Okay, I'm going to give you all an example. Okay, because I've got examples. That's how I do my business. Because I'm full of examples because this is how I do my business. Okay, it doesn't magically come to me. Nobody calls me up and says, "I have something for you."
Right.
Nobody. That doesn't happen. Okay. Once in a while, when I get a client who loves me in the past, that I have somebody for you. That happens. That's called a referral. But this for me is how I make my money. This is how I afford things. Okay. And I get a lot of no's. I get a lot of not interesteds, but I'm a very nice guy to talk to on the phone. I make a few jokes. I keep it light. And I always follow
up. Your jokes? Like a knock joke?
No, like I just kind of
tease.
If they sound old, I said, "Oh man, you sound like a young guy."
Yeah.
How old are you? "Oh, I'm 92 or I'm 82. Man, you're a young guy." "No, I'm not. You're a young guy compared to Methuselah." It's like the only joke I know, right? So I just trying to break them down, just trying to let them know I'm a nice guy. This is a really easy, light conversation. I'm not here to bother you. And I always follow up if it's a no. And I know it's a no, and I'm moving on. "Hey, Mr. Johnson, I appreciate your time. Listen, you sound like you know the neighborhood. You're probably the most popular person in your building, your neighborhood. I'm pretty sure you know 1 or 2 people around you that are interested in selling. You maybe have heard of wanting to sell."
Yeah.
If it's still a no, no problem. "Hey, I got, in South Florida, do you have any additional multifamily units or additional properties that you do have in South Florida that you want to sell?" Listen, what am I doing? Guys, I'm throwing the kitchen sink at them. They're already going to hang up on me. I'm going to move on from them, but I'm now asking them questions that even if I'm getting a no, they know where I'm at. They know what I'm asking for. And that's how I started my business, was by multifamilies. So I kind of go, "Do you have any multifamilies interested in selling? It's a great time." If it's a no, no problem. Well, listen, hey, you have my name, you have my number. Let me give it to you again. If you don't have it, this will be, if you hear of anything, at least of a good person. Now, what did I do? That person told me no. I did not cross their name off that list.
No.
Unless they told me, cross my name off my list, I'm never selling.
Yeah.
Don't ever call me again, Frank. I don't cross your name off the list because you know why? I'm calling them back in 3 weeks. They're going to remember the nice guy that called them from Delray that listened to them.
What do you say in 3 weeks?
"Hey, it's Frank again. Glad to talk to you again. How's everything going on your end?" This time it's not a bullshit call. I'm just circling back, circle prospecting. I'm circling back, checking in, seeing how you're doing. I know we spoke 3 weeks ago. You weren't interested in selling, but just want to let you know I'm still here in the market, still in the area, Caldwell Banker. If you are interested in selling, maybe have you heard of anybody since we talked last? Oh, no problem. Listen, I know we talked. The market's going crazy. Listen, I give them a little market update. The market's going crazy. Your neighbor, you probably see it. "Hey, Jim, are you still not interested, or are you still thinking about maybe selling right now?" I've worn people down this way. I did it to a gentleman, and within the first time he told me no, the second time he told me no, the third time he told me maybe, the fourth time he told me yes.
Nice. Let me pull out a couple of things. So I like how you asked about the multifamilies. I think when people start doing this, they will be surprised at the number of people that have more than one house. So that's perfect. And I think I like how you just keep going for no. Like, one no doesn't mean no necessarily. Like, you're seeing if it really means no. So on average, how many times are you hearing no before you end the call?
I try to get at least 5 no's.
I love it.
And the reason is because they see I'm persistent. Okay. And in today's day and age, being persistent is not a bad thing.
No,
A lot of people think, oh, you don't want to be a
I
pest.
like to call it pleasantly persistent.
I am pleasantly persistent,
Yes.
but I'm not annoying,
Yeah.
right? Okay. I'm trying to be persistent where I'm trying to get my questions out, where I'm trying to find an answer.
Mhm.
And then when I call back in 3 weeks, oh, it's that guy again. I'm just a friendly person. I'm asking the same persistent questions.
Right.
Maybe not the exact same questions I asked them that exact time, but I'm still asking them if they're selling.
Right.
If I already know they have no multifamilies, I'm not asking for any more stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm being persistent. I'm pleasant. I'm giving them a few minutes of my time. I'm letting them remember my name, my voice.
Yeah.
And so when I call back the third time in 3 more weeks, or 4, that it's not like,
Yeah.
oh, it's this guy calling again. It's Frank.
Yeah.
It's Frank.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank. You know how many times I get, hey, Frank, how you
Yeah.
doing? When my call comes through, oh, you got me in your phone now? No, I just saw your name and I knew it's you. Hey, Frank, how you doing? So it happens. And this is how I'm getting business.
I think it's
Maybe
important
it's a little
to know
slower.
too that like people as real estate agents, we need to remember, like, even though this is our business, this is everybody's favorite topic. It's politics, the weather, and real estate. That's what people talk about. They love it. They think it's awesome. And everybody has an opinion. So if you don't know what to say, just ask them, what do you think of the market?
That's really, honestly, that's how I start my conversations. If they want
Yeah.
me to talk, great. But I like to hear them talk, because then I just do this. I ask them a question. And I'll let them talk, and I'll let them tell me, no, I wasn't interested. No, I don't have a price.
Yeah.
But my neighbor just did this, and he's thinking about doing this, and he's got 1.5, and the neighbor on the other side is 2.1. I don't know. I think I could go some, and I'm just thinking to myself, and I'm looking at his house. I'm like, well, your neighbor's house is nicer on one side. Your neighbor's house is nicer on the other side. You're kind of in the middle, and I said, I'm like, how's 800,000 sound? I have a new person I'm signing up. And he goes, you really think? I said, well, we sure as hell can't go up once we list it. We can always go down.
Oh God.
And in the area. And he's like, I like how you think. And I'm like, well, yeah. I said, you know how hard it is to go up on a price, and people see that, because all his realtors see if there's been a price increase, which I've seen them online, MLS. This is an price increase 60 grand. I'm like, well,
Florida's a weird state. You guys are weird over there.
I'm like, I'd rather see prices decline or decrease at least. And I said, okay, well, at least that person is reasonable. Because you know what that tells me? The agent's smart, and B, the seller's reasonable. When I see this prices go up all of a sudden, either A, the agent's greedy, or B, the seller's super unreasonable and they're not trying to sell the house. They just want to just get as much money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're getting, and it's just at that stage, you could offer them and they're still going to, well, I think it's now this, and I'd like that. And just stay away, folks. Stay away. Stay away.
Well, I think like we could probably talk, I feel like we could talk about circle prospecting for a really long time, but there's like a lot of great tips here that you provided. I like how, like what you say, just a couple quick sentences, ask a question, be quiet, you're calling for a reason. I like your process. Like if they say no, you don't cross them off, you call them back, you're building relationships. And I think that's really valuable. So if people, you're with Coldwell Banker in Southeast Florida.
In Delray Beach.
What's that?
I'm with Coldwell Banker in Delray Beach off Atlantic Avenue. We are a block from the ocean, off Atlantic Ocean, in beautiful Delray. So it's a great place for people who are walking by. It's been great for this season. A lot of out-of-towners who walk by, working at the office. They're always stopping and looking at places, and you can tell they're out-of-towners right away.
Of course.
And I go outside and I said, "Hey, you ready to move to Florida? Welcome to Florida."
That's perfect.
And I get business, and sometimes I don't, but
you're
like
talking and you're communicating. I mean, real estate is a contact sport. So if you want more business, you have to make more contact, right?
Yeah. And I fear a lot of broke agents right now are trying to do, which is nothing wrong with it, the internet way, which is just let the internet give you business, which it can do that. If you've got the dollars, if you've got the marketing dollars, and you've got a great catch line or a little video, and you've got that
to spend. Of money.
But most agents don't have that kind of money to spend like that. It's just not what they do. It's not what we do.
It's not a good return on investment anyway.
No. And that's why you have to do, unfortunately, look, find a good lead list, find the area you want to call. Don't go out of your area too much of what you want to call. And look, if it's $2 million to $20 million homes that you want to sell, and that's where you want, because a lot of people get, that's what I want to sell. then you know what? Stick to your guns. You're going to fail. You're going to fall. You're going to get told no. You're going to get told by millionaires, you're not good enough. Who are you? Why are you calling me? And they're all rich. All these wealthy people who want to call rich people. I'm just giving you guys an idea because I did it. I wanted to do it. And the wealthy people I'll talk to you a lot of times like, why are you calling me? And this and that and the other. Don't get nervous.
Yeah.
Just look at his battle chunks in an armor. You're dipping and you're dodging and you're throwing punches. Hey, how you doing? Whoa, I'm just calling to say hi. How you doing?
Hey,
oh, don't knock my head off.
Yeah.
You interested in selling your house? No. Oh,
Okay.
It's gonna happen. But or find an area it's a little bit less crazy. It's people who are more in the 400 to 1.5, $2 million
Well, it depends
range.
on your market, right? Like,
And it depends on your market. Find the area. Get your lead list, however it is, whether it's cold or you're paying another system broker to get your lead list. Stick to your area. Stick to your area. Don't just give up because they said no the first time you went to the sheet. The first time you go to the sheet, they tell you no, it's okay. That's okay. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean this has failed you. It just means they just told you no, not today. And when you're done the list, guess what? Flip it back over to the first name and the names that aren't crossed out. Start calling again. Hi, it's Frank. How are you? Glad to talk to you again. Blah, 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 blah. And go through the list again. And I promise you go through the list a second or third time. Not only will you get person that wasn't there the first time, but you'll end up talking to the same person you talked to the last time. This time you might actually get a referral or you'll get a real contact, a real person to list with. And you'll make a few dollars. Then you'll realize, you'll look at how much time you spent actually calling those names and how much time you spent doing this, and you'd be like, I spent basically 5 hours, and most of the times it is for me, to call somebody, to make the connection, to make what, 20 grand?
I know, right?
30,000?
Great.
But I had to spend 5 hours to find that money. So I'm basically shoveling for 5 hours to find somebody to say, I'm interested in you telling me what I can do.
Exactly. No, I think that's great. And if people do want the electronic version, we use for our circle prospecting, Vulcan 7 has really good numbers. So I'll put a link in there for people to do like a special, they get like a special discount. But Frank, if people have a referral for you in Southeast Florida, or they have questions about circle prospecting or want to role play with you or whatever, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can reach me by my work phone, my cell phone, which is, can I give it out here?
Yeah.
Okay. It's 561-312-6500. Or you can also email me, which is that's a text as well, but you can email me at frank.davies@cbrealty.com. That's frank.davies@cbrealty.com.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate you being on. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Appreciate for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure and I'm honored. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thanks, guys. Bye.